Hello, I'm Laura and I'm here at Cats Protection in Hazelmere, and today I'm here with two lovely kittens. This one here is Edwina and she's feeling very brave and confident, and this one is Eden and she wasn't feeling quite so brave a minute ago, but I think maybe she's found her confidence. If she wants to hide, she can go and hide anytime she likes, but I think they should be fun to watch while I'm reading New's story today. Today I've got chapter 6 of Elmo Gets Arrested, and Elmo has just been placed under house arrest. So let's find out how that goes. The next day, Silky had been let out of the cat flap by Mrs. Cotton, who shut it firmly after her, making sure that Elmo was kept inside. She didn't like doing that to him, but she was sure Elmo wasn't the thief and wanted to keep him safe. "How are they going to find the real thief, dear?" asked Mr. Cotton with a worried look on her face. "I'm sure I don't know," he replied, "but if the fish suppers keep disappearing, then we will all know for sure it's not Elmo. We can't keep him in forever, can we? I just hope somebody catches the real thief soon and Elmo can go out to play again. He looks so sad." Now, who's Silky promised to visit? Alfie the cat. And here she is. Let's find out how that visit goes. Elmo was looking out of the window, watching Silky go across the garden and slip through the hole in the hedge to go and find her friend, the dog Alfie. She had told Elmo all about the plan the cat team had come up with. "I hope it works," he thought. "Good luck, Silky. How wonderful to have a friend like you to help me." Silky ran quickly down the road to the next street and into the garden of Willow Cottage, owned by a young lady called Lauren. It was Saturday morning and Lauren was having her breakfast in the sunshine, reading a book. Alfie, her dog, was lying on the grass beside her. Meowing loudly, Silky called out to Alfie, her friend, to get his attention. "Alfie, Alfie, over here," called Silky. Lauren didn't seem to notice as Alfie strolled over to the corner by the gate and sat down. "Silky, I haven't seen you for a long time. Is there a problem?" he woofed. Silky explained the whole story about Scarface Sam stealing fish, Elmo being blamed and now being locked in. "So you see, we need your help to catch him. The cat team are trying to follow him and Magic and Midnight are watching his barge where he lives, but we need to catch him in the act of stealing to prove Elmo innocent," she explained. "Woof, woof, woof," growled Alfie. "That's terrible. He must be a very bad cat. I feel sorry for your Elmo." "Will you help?" asked Silky. "Of course I will," woofed Alfie. "That's what friends are for, isn't it? To help each other." "Thank you. You are a good dog, Alfie," she meowed back. "We will need a proper plan," he said. "Let me think about it today and we'll meet again tomorrow. Right here, okay?" "Alfie, where are you?" called Lauren. "Got to go, Silky. It's time to take Lauren for her walk," he said. "She thinks she walks me, but I just like to please her. I get a dog treat at the end," he smiled. "See you tomorrow." Did you know dogs can smile? Pay attention next time you see one. You'll be surprised. Back at Barry Grove, Elmo was so fed up being shut inside. It was lovely and sunny out, so he wanted to go in the garden. Mrs. Cotton was in the kitchen baking a cake, and because the door was shut and the windows were shut to keep Elmo in, it was very, very hot. "Goodness, it's hot in here," she complained. "Perhaps I could just open the window a little bit," which she did. "Elmo won't be able to squeeze through there." Just then the phone rang and Mrs. Cotton went into the lounge to find her mobile. What will Elmo do? I think this lovely picture gives us a clue. Elmo jumped up onto the windowsill by the open window to smell the fresh air. He could hear Mrs. Cotton chatting on her mobile. If only he could go outside for just a few minutes. He would come straight in, he thought. "I'll give it a try," Elmo said to himself. "Just a minute or two in the garden." He squeezed and squeezed until he pushed himself through the narrow gap of the open window and jumped down onto the grass. "A little fresh air won't hurt," he thought. "Then I'll go back inside. No one will ever know." Just then, Mrs. Cotton came back into the kitchen, having finished her phone call quite quickly. "Time to get the cakes out the oven," she said to herself. "I must shut the window first. I don't want the cakes to go flat." She shut the window with a bang and Elmo looked up startled. "Oh no! How will I get back in?" He meowed and meowed and meowed, trying to get Mrs. Cotton's attention so she would open the door and let him in. It was no use. She'd switched on the radio and couldn't hear him. Elmo was stuck outside, where he was not supposed to be. "What bad luck," he thought to himself. "I'll just have to wait for Silky to get home and go in with her. I'm going to be in trouble for this." Half an hour went by and no sign of Silky. Then, just as he was going to try meowing loudly again, there was the sound of rustling in the hedge and he turned around expecting to see her coming through. To his horror, it wasn't Silky, but Scarface Sam. "Well, well, well, Elmo, you here all on your own? No Silky to protect you," he sneered. "She'll be here very soon," Elmo shouted back. "Leave me alone. Mrs. Cotton will hear you and call the police." And there's poor Elmo, with Scarface Sam sneaking up on him. What about two cats sitting in the sunshine together? One who is not supposed to be outside, so I've heard. He laughed in Elmo's face and came closer. Elmo stepped back. He couldn't even rush through the cat flap. It was locked to stop him getting out. "If only I hadn't jumped through the window," he thought to himself. "How did you know I wasn't supposed to be out?" asked Elmo nervously. "There's a lot of things I know, especially after I left your orange fluff in the last kitchen I was in. They were bound to think it was you that stole the fish that day." Very tasty it was too," he said, curling his lip and showing big yellow teeth. "You are a bad, nasty bully," shouted Elmo, backing towards the kitchen door. "And you're a coward, orange face," sneered Scarface Sam. "What kind of cat is orange?" he teased poor Elmo. Elmo looked around, hoping Selkie would appear and help him, but she was nowhere in sight. He would have to make a run for it. "Don't even think about running, Elmo. I'll catch you," he said. "This is what we're going to do. You are coming with me to a hideout. It will be very useful for me if people think you've escaped from your home and are out stealing fish again. Nobody will blame me," he screeched. "I'm not going anywhere with you. You can't make me," Elmo said, sounding braver than he felt. "Really? If you don't come, I will wait for Silky and make her come instead. She's old. Won't take much effort," Scarface Sam boasted. "Then people will think she's the fish thief," he laughed, a nasty, taunting laugh. "Now you can't do that. She's my friend. I will come with you. Just leave her alone," pleaded Elmo. "So as long as you do as I say, she'll be okay. Follow me, now." Scarface Sam took Elmo to an old shed in the corner of a park nearby. Nobody used it anymore. He pushed Elmo inside and shut the door, pushing a large stone against it so Elmo couldn't get out. That evening, in Barry Grove, Silky and Mr. and Mrs. Cotton were very worried. Where had Elmo gone? How did he get out? Why hasn't he come home? "He's going to be very hungry," Mr. Cotton said. Unless what, dear?" asked Mrs. Cotton. "Unless he really is stealing fish," Mr. Cotton said. Silky started meowing loudly. "Meow, meow, meow! Elmo is not a thief," she was trying to say. "Something is wrong." She sat by the cat flap, meowing loudly to be let out. "Silky, do you think you can find Elmo?" Mrs. Cotton asked her. Silky meowed again and again. "I need to call for help," she thought to herself. "Meow, meow, meow, meow." "That sounds like the meow for let me out," said Mr. Cotton. "I think you're right, dear. I'll open the cat flap. I do hope she can find him," Mrs. Cotton replied. "At last," said Silky to herself as she bolted through the cat flap and into the garden. She went up to the roof of their secret place and she called the cat team secret signal. In an instant, magic appeared, and she told her that Elmo was missing. That night, every cat in the neighbourhood was out looking for Elmo. Silky remembered what Elmo had told her about wishing on a star. She looked up and wished upon the brightest star she could see. "Please keep Elmo safe and bring him home to us," she asked with all her heart. And there, poor Silky's wondering what's happened to Elmo. Well, we'll find out tomorrow in the next chapter. I hope you've enjoyed today's story. I think these two have. One of them's had a bit of a chew as well. Luckily it didn't taste too good, so she hasn't eaten all of it. But I look forward to bringing you chapter 7 tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.